Have you ever wondered about those who dream of a better life versus those who create it? Are you waiting to accomplish your dreams and goals? Welcome to Create It Now. With your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to put your dreams into motion and create it now. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. That's 731-1230. Or toll free 1-866-820-5528. That's 1-866-820-KLAV. Now let's bring on the host and create it now. Here is Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome to the Create It Now radio show. Thank you for joining us today with your hosts, Jonathan Stone, myself, Dawn Elizabeth. And Jonathan, how are you today?
Doing wonderful, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm less sick.
You are.
I'm happy about that.
Your singing voice is back.
Yay!
Yes,
I won't sing for you, though.
The nasally operator voice.
People are going to tune out if I start singing.
No, not you. So we have a great show today, but I want to talk about our show yesterday. I think that was really amazing, having Sherry Watson back and Tracy, her husband. And what was really cool about it, having Sherry, which she's been through and with all the not-for-profits, but Tracy, her husband, really works the back of the room, and a lot of people don't know how much effort you have to put in to keep everything going and everything smooth, making sure Sherry's on time and, getting the slides going and stuff like that. So the people in the back of the room are just as important as the speaker.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The presenter or the coach or the mentor.
Well, yeah, anytime I do an event, whether it's I'm running the event or I'm speaking at the event, it's the biggest thing you want is to make sure nobody knows what's happening. If something goes wrong, it's behind the scenes. People don't notice it. And you have to have a good team working that part of your event in order for that to happen.
And that's what we always talk about, is like having the best team around you. Surround yourself with people that want you to succeed and want you to shine. And when you have a great team, you can do anything. Definitely.
I agree. Making sure the right people are on your team. Not necessarily if you think, I need to have this person because they're the best. They might not be the right person. You want to make sure that everybody has the same goal behind it and everybody is on the same page.
I agree with that. And I also think you also want people that are hungry. Somebody who's starting out. Somebody who's willing to learn as well. Because they'll give you that extra bit. That they'll go that extra mile for you to because they want to learn and they want to prove up. And I think also you have to give people a chance. So instead of going, you know what, you have this much experience, this person has this much, don't count people out. Get to know who they are, what their passions are, and ask them, say, like, are you going to work hard? What is your ultimate goal?
It's funny because it reminds me of, in the speaking industry, how in order to get an agent, you have to have done a lot of speaking already, but in order to get on stages, you have to have an agent. And there's like an imbalance there because a lot of newer speakers, they are the ones who will do more for you, make your event even that much better because they're not just going to show up, speak for 50 minutes and walk out. They're going to give more to that event than what somebody who just literally runs one place to the next, speak 50 minutes, move, So it's an interesting dynamic, but that is true. Those people are hungrier and they'll do more for you.
And also the self-promotion is huge. Like, I keep talking about this, but the lady from Pennsylvania, Michigan, Hershey, Michigan, 280 people. But she found us, came on the show, has to, pack up her 5 kids when she goes anywhere and speaks.
That's so funny. We're going to need to get you to Hershey, Michigan so you can understand it.
I always say, I have lived in buildings with more than 280 people. I don't know what it's like to be in a town with 280 people. I'd be like...
Yeah, we need to get you there just so you can see it and understand that concept.
Everybody, but then again, I've lived in buildings with 280 people, and you don't even know your neighbors. Anyone. So I wonder if it's a town, if you would know everybody. But then everybody would know your business. And you couldn't get away with anything. I think that would be it, because it would be so gossipy.
Probably. I mean, it also, too, depends on how spread out it is. Now we're getting into, like, geographical stuff. But, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big part, too. I mean, in your building, when you have 280 people, I'm sure there's somebody who knew all your business.
Oh, yeah. There's always that one person
Yep.
that's taking notes and complaining.
There's that's how the towns work, too.
Yeah. Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, and one thing that we're going to be talking about today with our guest kind of goes along with that. It doesn't matter where you live. You can still also position yourself within your industry, just like Robin from our guest that we had on from Hershey, Michigan. You can, even though she's in a small town, she's positioned herself in a way as that expert. So it doesn't matter that she lives there.
Right.
She still works and travels and does all the things. She didn't let that hold her back.
Right. And I think what I really enjoyed about her as well is how we changed kind of that mindset when she was like, yeah, I was doing a thing in my town, but only a few people showed up. But I was like, you got 2% of your town to show up, whatever they might be. To just say I got 2% of my town to show up, that's huge.
Yeah.
Even if it was 2 people, but it doesn't matter. It's just, I would put that on my resume. I'd be like, I got 2% of the town to come out and see. People don't know if I'm from LA or wherever, England, London, it doesn't matter. 2% of the town, that's huge. Conversion rate.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So it doesn't matter where you're from. It's that mindset you have and how you can create that for yourself. And that's a lot about what we're going to talk about today, which I'm super excited about. It's some interesting information that,
right.
So.
No, I agree. Yeah, I'm really excited about our guest. And we're fortunate enough to meet him on Sunday, actually, at a mastermind.
Yes.
And I learned so much at this mastermind about co-branding and stuff like that, but also meeting with Luke, just understanding, and today what he said he basically does is like he's a coach of a coach. And I think that is I've never actually met a coach of a coach. At least I don't think I have, because I've met a lot of...
everybody should have a coach.
Everybody should have a coach, and we talk about that all the time.
Yep, coach and mentors.
But a coach, that coaches even have coaches. I think that's great, and so I want to hear the whole philosophy behind that. Instead of just coaching people, he's coaching people to help other people. So it's like so many folds back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you should always have somebody there who can help you move forward, because you don't know everything. So keeping a coach at all times, and even the people who are, we think, oh my gosh, they're the gurus. They have coaches. Everybody has a coach, because it's hard to grow on your own. Having that third party with you is what's going to help you grow.
I got to say, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
To come up with a whole business for a coach to coach coaches. I just think, but it's to keep people on track and what's going on new. So there's got to be a lot of responsibility into that. Because any new techniques or whatever, and we'll really talk more to Luke after the break, but what it takes, how do you keep these coaches motivated to keep coaching? Because I'm sure, when they have their clients and they must have like a long day, or they're just bummed out, then he's got to be their coach to bring them up. So I think it's going to be a really cool conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And we'll get started with that conversation right after our break. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to find us on Facebook or check out the website, www.createitnowmedia.com. When we come back, we're going to have an amazing interview, so you stick with us. We'll be right back.
It's Roxy from the 702 Rock Show, right here at VegasAllNetRadio.com. Listen to my show every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear about local artists, musicians, fashion designers, and more right here in Las Vegas. So tune in every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear me, Michelle Roxy Davis, right here at VANR on the 702 Rock Show.
We're blowing it out at Gene Woods Racing Experience, Las Vegas's newest premier outdoor adrenaline-powered gasoline go-karting track with speeds in excess of 45 miles per hour if you've got the balls. We've got 2-for-1 Tuesdays, buy one and your friend rides free. We've got $5 off coupons, and remember, on your birthday, members ride free. And they get a free Gene Woods Racing Experience t-shirt, open Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. till 11. Saturday and Sunday, noon till 11. And we're located at 121 East Sunset Road and Las Vegas Boulevard at the Sports Center across from McCarran Airport. Come blow the doors off your competition at Gene Woods Racing Experience. Once you race here, you won't go anywhere else. Be there. Be there. Be there. Be there.
You're listening to the Create It Now Radio Network. This is Larry Benet, the Connector. Invest in your network, and the network will invest back into helping you. The more connection currency you create, the faster you get whatever you want in business and life. You're listening to the Create It Now Radio Network.
Create It Now. Continues. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello, and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. We have in studio with us an international person who is in studio visiting Las Vegas for business and joined us today, which is amazing.
Yay.
And like Jonathan said, we met him on Sunday at a mastermind meeting. And the one thing, as he pointed out and stuck out first to me, was the accent. So that'll be fun. It's a perfect voice for radio. I love it.
Yes. Makes us sound more international, like we have more of a flair. Like we know other people outside of Vegas.
Right. Outside of our own accent. There's others out there, right? So our guest today helps coaches create a coaching model like Tony Robbins, The 6 Human Needs, and Robert Kiyosaki, Cash Flow Quadrant. And it's about having a lifestyle business. Luke Charlton, coaching model consultant, helps you position yourself as a leading expert in your industry so you can charge 3 to 4 times more than you are currently charging without relying on a book, product, or website. Luke has worked with clients all over the world, including Indonesia, Jamaica, Canada, United States, UK, Australia, and it keeps on going. And we're honored to have our guest in studio with us today, so please help us welcome Luke Charlton.
Hey guys, how you going?
Hello.
Yeah,
Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me along.
Yay.
Yes, we're really glad to have you here.
Thanks for joining us. So you're in town and you're rushing out after today, huh?
Yeah, I head home to Australia tonight. Actually, for the first time since I moved to London to take my business and expand internationally. So first time I'll see my family in about 8 months or so. So
wow.
Exciting, yeah.
So how long are you going to stay out in Australia?
About 6 weeks. So working with clients as well, doing a few presentations, which will be fun. So I'm going to leverage my time back there. Pretty good. So
very
nice.
Yeah, go down the coast as well, which I'm looking forward to.
There you go. And what's cool about it is you can work from anywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere
in the world.
Yeah,
I mean, working now, right? So, not right now, but I can from Vegas.
But actually, prior to the show, though, you were actually teaching us some stuff about Google Hangouts, and which we're going to start using next week, so people can actually see the radio show live as well as hear it and see our guests and our wonderful engineers and stuff. So it'll be a good time.
We're going to have to put makeup on everybody.
Exactly, and all the mistakes, and to actually take a shower. It's just going to change the whole dynamic of it. No, but how did you get into coaching coaches?
It's a long... Okay.
We have an hour. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so my background is actually health and wellness and fitness. So I became a personal trainer in 2009 after being in that area for a long time. Then I got more interested in the mental side. I realized there was more to it, getting in shape, than just the physical side, right? So that's what led me to become a coach and get really into personal development. Then I got certified as a coach a couple of years ago, and I've been coaching ever since. I loved it. It was mainly around health and wellness and fitness to start off with, and that was something that I was very comfortable with, but I wasn't necessarily passionate about. And I knew that if I was going to continue on this journey, I needed to do something that what I love to do, and that is helping entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and trainers become successful in what it is that they're passionate about. Because I believe that if someone is successful in what they're passionate about, then they can fundamentally change the world, just like a Gates or a Steve Jobs, for example. So that's what I love doing, helping them become successful. Right. So I help coaches and consultants to build their business, scale their business. Right.
So you actually help a coach create a business and turn it into an enterprise. And the cool thing about that is, like, the more coaches you help, the more people that they're helping.
That's
so it's
exactly
like, they say, for every friend you have on Facebook, you have 6 more. So it's just, it expands. So that's really interesting. I've never met a coach's coach. I love that word, a coach's coach. Do you have that like in your business card? I'm a coach's coach.
No, not yet. But
you just phrased it. Yeah,
I know. I think I'm the coach because I think that would open up so many discussions, being like, "What's a coach's coach?" Well, I help you help others.
I think
I'm taking that. Sorry, you're done. I'm gonna get an accent.
I already trademarked it. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna get an accent, and I'm gonna be like the coach's coach.
The thing is, a lot of people still don't know what a coach is.
Right.
So I usually position myself around a consultant, which is what I do as well. A coach can be seen as someone that asks really great questions, and a consultant as well gives specific advice, or a mentor, for example. Mm-hmm. So I do a combination of both. Because I'm trained as a coach, I know when to ask questions and I know when to give advice. Right. The thing I don't like about being called a coach is that you have to explain to a lot of people what a coach is now. They still think it's like a tennis trainer, for example. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people know what a consultant is, so it's just easier.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I've always known coaching, life coaches, but I guess maybe because I'm from LA in the entertainment industry, everybody's got a life coach and a therapist. So
it's very well known here in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you think it in the business world, it's more of a consultant because they bring consultants in to work. So in that mindset, they don't know what a coach is. Like, what do you mean? What's a coach coming in? We're going to play football? What's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly
right.
Or
I'm sorry, soccer. Or
exactly.
But yeah, so it is, people do need that explanation of the two.
Right, so. And like with the way that I like to communicate in marketing is I think if there's any guesswork in it, then you're not communicating effectively. If you have to explain what it is, then it's just not a good way of communicating your message. I just like to be very clear with
yeah.
Do you help people create their brands as well?
Yeah, that's part of what creating a model is, right? So we help them create a coaching model, a visual representation to start off with, from which they can brand their company. A lot of the challenges I see with coaches is that they brand themselves as the thing that gets results and not their process. All coaches, no matter where you're trained, have a unique process. And that's like an amalgamation of all the years of experience, whatever their niche is, or niche, sorry, we're in the US, niche.
I like that way better.
Yeah.
That's how I was brought up saying it, actually.
So it's about bringing out their process and then helping them brand it. And then you can scale a model, right, or you can scale a system. You can't scale yourself. There's only so many hours in the day that you can work, and that's what I help entrepreneurs do, is create a lifestyle business.
So basically you take it away from them being in their head, like their own ego going, I'm a great coach, and going, no, it's your process. And then help them develop their process where then they can teach their other coaches or people their process.
There's nothing wrong with branding yourself as the thing that gets results, but what's your exit strategy if you ever want to step away from your company? I mean, it's just going to... when you've branded yourself as the thing that gets results, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
So there's no problem with that. It's just if that's your end goal, then that's fine. But if you do want to scale your company and you do want to work less hours, then you need to brand a system.
That's great. It's like a teacher, and it's almost like Layla. We know this lady who helps inner city children, and she does this thing called mic sessions. And the reason I'm going to bring this up, but she built a curriculum, and her curriculum is very strong, and it's these kids, work on art, poetry. She created Tupac, worked with Tupac and stuff like that, and got him more into the poetry thing. But for 25 years, she's been working on her curriculum. Mm-hmm. Now what she's trying to do is brand out that curriculum so it can go to other cities where she doesn't have to show up all the time because it's really draining. Mm-hmm. She travels. That's right. And so for you to help people come up with their curriculum, that's very smart. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's right. And then they can... So I help them create a certification program, right? That's the end goal. And just as you mentioned, like you certify people in the way that you get results with your clients, and then they can go off and you mentioned co-branding at the start. Then you can co-brand, and you're effectively creating a much larger impact on a larger scale, doing less work essentially because you've got your own system.
And then they can teach others and have people work.
Right. And you get money and royalties, and it works really good for you.
Nice.
Money while you're sleeping.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why not do it?
Exactly. No. Somebody told me, a guy named Warren Kornblum, who's the head of Toys R Us. He says the only time you really know you're making money is if you're making money when you sleep. And I've always listened to them.
Absolutely.
But you got to still do hard work.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of work. There's work to put that all together, and then once it's together, that system is moving for you.
Like with anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think the curriculum is probably always changing. Mm-hmm. And evolving. Like you could see something and have an aha nugget moment, and you go, oh, you know what, I just said this and it opened this up. So it's always got to be changing, and I can see where it'd be an advantage for a coach to have another coach, where they're working with so many people, they could say, oh, put this in your curriculum. You know what I mean? Just to help or really define what's going on and anything that's changing in the industry. So you really have to be on top of that as well.
Yeah,
You have to go to a lot of courses.
On top of a lot.
So you're always working as well. I mean, even though you're coaching people, but you're always going to seminars and learning and seeing what the new tools are. Yeah, but then you have to train them.
What I love about what it is that I do is I not only what I'm taking in, but I'm like teaching my coaches. So I'm kind of very like leveraging my time, I guess you could say, because I'm using what I learn on my business, but also teaching the coaches what I learn as well at the same time, if that makes sense. So. Whereas someone that's a life coach, they have to learn sales and marketing, but that's not essentially what they want to do. I hear that from a lot of life coaches. You know, when can I just coach? Well, when you get really good at selling and marketing yourself, that's when you can coach.
You get people to believe in you and stuff. No, that's interesting. So you've traveled all over, and you work with different coaches. Where do you find people are more receptive, that really want to learn instead of just make it into a business?
Here in the US is huge for coaching. As I just mentioned, there's a lot of coaches that don't necessarily want to create a huge business. They just want to help a lot of people. They just want to help a lot. But there's a challenge around that is that they need to know how to create a business. Otherwise, they won't know how to. They won't be able to make the impact that they want to make. And there's a lot of coaches that struggle with that because they get certified in these organizations that teach them how to ask really great questions, become a coach, but they don't necessarily know how to sell and market themselves. They just go, now you're a coach, off you go. Go. They
paid their money,
lives.
Now they go.
That's right. So that's a challenge that I see with a lot of coaches.
And also, I think what's great about having, again, a coach's coach is they might stumble across something that's so new. Somebody asked or a block or something. Where they can come to you and you're working with so many different coaches, you might be able to find that answer to help them understand it more and to see, because I think, like I said, everything keeps evolving and to knowing what's going on, what new tools or something, even a phrase or something that can make an impact,
Something that I've learned a lot in business is that you really do need to stay on top of the market. You really do need to know the industry that you're in because it is always changing. There's a lot of movement, as we were just discussing today, Google Hangouts. Like it wasn't very big when it first was launched, which I think was last year or so, but it is slowly starting to get really big now. And that's something that if you want to leverage, which is what I'm helping you guys with, it's a good thing to get on it now while you're kind of at the bottom of the trend coming up.
Start adopting it now.
Right. So you're right in that you do need to, you really need to be on top of things a lot. You can't, so.
And that's what you have to do. I mean,
exactly right. Yeah, but I love it. So that's what I like to do.
Do you have any clients that are actual clients, not just coaches? Like, did you keep any of your old, people that you actually just coached? You were just a coach for not a coach's coach, kind of thing.
No, I had to. So as I said, my background is health and wellness and fitness. So when I went to coaching coaches, I pretty much just started over. It took a leap and just started focusing on a new niche and went after coaches basically.
That's great because we talk about taking action. So what helped you take that action to decide, and what were your first steps to actually do that? Because I mean, it's pretty big going from, okay, I'm going to help you in wellness and health and fitness and be a coach, to go, I'm now going to be a master coach in a sense and teach people how to be coaches. And then what did it take to create that?
It was, so I knew that I wanted to help entrepreneurs a long time ago. I don't think I had the confidence initially in helping them with that, because as you said, you have to be on the top of your game. Like if I'm helping business coaches, then I essentially have to be really at the top of my game. So,
because I'm sure at first they're like, what can you teach me? I'm a coach.
Exactly right. So I think there was a confidence issue around that, and then it got to the point, and it goes back to taking action. Right, you need to feel the pain of not taking action. So I moved from Canberra, my hometown in Australia, home city in Australia, to London, leaving a 6-figure job, moving to a new country with no network, no friends. I stayed with my auntie for about a week till I found a place. So that's the only person I knew in the UK. And for me to take that type of action, and it comes back to your question of the same action of just taking a new direction with business, you really have to feel the pain. A lot of people a lot of people move forward on pain instead of pleasure. And for me, I saw my life in the future. So if you put your life, say, 5 years or 10 years into the future, what's it going to look like if you don't take that action now? Like, seriously, if you don't get out of that 9 to 5, that miserable 9 to 5 that you're in, see yourself in 5 years or 10 years in front of the mirror. What is it that you're saying to yourself? What is it? Do you have respect for yourself? And really sit in that pain and feel it, because that is where your life is going if you don't take that action. And that's what happened to me. I was at a stage where I saw my life being in this corporate environment. Actually, my background is IT, 5 years while I was doing coaching on the side. And I just knew that if I stayed in this, it was crushing my soul, basically.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
And it got so bad that I brought my trip a month forward because I couldn't handle it anymore. And I went to stay with a friend in Canada to get business stuff ready before I went across to the UK. So for me, taking action, it's really about feeling that pain. And a lot of people don't feel that pain. Like, they're in pain, but not enough pain to make
a difference,
to change it,
to make a change. And one of the things we talk about is take action now, because we don't want to have the same conversation in a year from now and then going, look how many people I could have helped or I should have helped. I mean, we work with a lot of not-for-profits, and we're hearing like how they need awareness and help, and now we're really trying to put together something to help them and take action, because it's like so hard to sleep at night, knowing that, oh my God, there's, homeless people or vets coming back or something like that. So, but it's really important to take action and follow your dreams. And yesterday we talked a lot about your passion. So, like, what is your passion about teaching?
My passion, I guess it always comes back to what we spoke about at the beginning, which is helping entrepreneurs succeed in what it is that they do. So, for me, teaching is easy because I know that that's what it's leading to the end result, right?
Right.
But coming back to your question about your statement about getting people to take action now, I think people need to realize that you don't have to do this alone. My advice would be to hire a coach. Seriously, if you want to change your life, hire a coach for a couple of months or 3 months. Just know that you don't have to do this alone. I think a lot of people feel alone, and that's all on them to make these changes.
Right, and they're scared to move ahead.
Right, and you don't. See, I had planned my trip for a while. I knew I was moving to London, so it sounds like I just quit everything and left, but I had planned it for maybe about 18 months or so. So I was saving on the side. So to the people listening, just know that you don't have to do something crazy and just quit everything. You can plan. You do have time.
But you were taking actions the whole way through
it. Right. I was doing lots of reading, getting my certification as a coach, not watching TV. So I mean, if you want to change your life, people say they don't have time, but I mean, how many hours a week do you watch TV, for example?
No, exactly. Yeah, that's what we always say: maximize your downtime.
1 hour. If you're watching TV 1 hour a day, that's 7 hours a week that you could use to learn something new, put action towards your dreams, right? So
yeah, absolutely. And doing it well, you may not be very happy maybe in the position you're in, your job that you have, but to do it on your off time so that you have built that up before you quit. Because I've seen it so many times where people are ready to make that change, and they do it at the flip of a dime, and so they now are trying to catch up to make money that they were making, and it pulls them back, and they either decide to go back to something that they didn't enjoy, or their lifestyle has to be downgraded by a lot. Right. So it's kind of the people who do want to make a change sometimes choose the wrong time to switch. So having a coach with you to help plan that is going to be very beneficial. One of the
challenges that entrepreneurs have, all entrepreneurs have, I believe, is focus on, not only focus, but what to focus on. And when you hire a coach, it can really help with that. If you know what to focus on, your step-by-step actions weekly, it makes the world of difference.
Accountability as well.
Accountability is huge. Accountability is massive.
I know.
Absolutely.
We talk about that constantly. Even have an accountability partner, which would, in your terms, be like a coach. Now, before you made the leap, did you have a coach?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I have a couple of coaches now, coaches and mentors as well.
But when you first made the leap, and with that 18-month process to
on
leaving,
and off, I did. Not the whole time.
Right, but it helped.
Yes,
it helped transition,
so.
Because I'm sure at times you went back in your head and go, "Shit, am I doing this? Am I crazy? Oh my gosh!" And then talking to your coach allowed you to feel more confident and knew that you had somebody rooting for you and direction and
it's amazing what you can do when someone believes in your dream with you as well.
Yeah, and because if somebody doesn't, then you get so inside your head, you sabotage it, and you're like, am I going to be able to do this? And maybe I should do it in like 2 years instead of 18 months.
And you have to be mentally ready for it too, because somebody might believe in you, but you don't believe in yourself yet, and that could hinder as well.
I can't stress enough for people listening that once you do start working towards your dreams, things start to happen. Seriously, things will start to happen. You will attract the things that you want to attract. Like 6 months ago, it's about 8 months ago. Time goes fast. But I couldn't imagine like being in Vegas, being interviewed on a radio station, right? So, and I'm working with the top business coaches in the world now. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't imagine that like 8 months ago. But things do happen when you start taking. It doesn't have to be big steps, just small steps towards
just take
what it is that you want to do.
There. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and one thing that I've been really big on now, and I found that I used to wait for people to do stuff. So even though they were like, big people in the entertainment industry or whatever, I'd always wait. And now it's like, I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen, and they can catch up with me.
Absolutely. Right. And Jonathan, I know you don't like to wait, but we do have to wait a few minutes in order to continue our conversation. We are going to let our sponsors speak. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Dream It, Create It, and we'll be right back.
It's an idea whose time has come. Full Circle Couture is the fashionable way to exchange and recycle clothing. Full Circle Couture sells all kinds of new and gently used clothing and accessories. They accept donations and exchanges for in-store credit. And Full Circle Couture donates the items they can't use to local charities. We support teachers through discounts and donations. Come to donate, stay to shop. Full Circle Couture at 9440 West Sahara, Suite 170, just west of Fort Apache. Find out more at fccfullcirclecouture.com. That's FCC Full Circle Couture, COUTURE.com.
Ben Bella Books is a publishing boutique that aims to be the publisher of choice for a select group of authors. Authors who value personal attention, a partnership philosophy, flexibility, and a creative approach to marketing. Ben Bella Books is a fast-growing, market-focused publishing house whose success is based on a few simple principles. They select their titles with care. They provide their authors with first-class service and partnership. And they provide aggressive, creative marketing for each title they publish. Find out more at benbellabooks.com. benbellabooks.com. And if you're a reader, check out the many great titles available at benbellabooks.com.
My name is Brandon Shia, and you're listening to Create It Now.
Those who can do. This is Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Your host, Jonathan Stone, myself, Dawn Elizabeth, and we have our in-studio guest as well. But before we get back to our conversation, I do want to give a business shout-out to Lorena Anderson, a Fort Lauderdale Beach-based success coach and trainer, because shift happens, and how are you dealing with it? Lorena believes that energy is everything and directly impacts your wealth, health, and relationships. She is dedicated to helping her clients shift their energy and clear their blocks that are preventing them from having the lives that they deserve. So if you want to check out Lorena Anderson, her website is www.theenergyshifter.com. And if you too would like a business shout out, don't forget to go to the website, www.createitnowmedia.com, and sign up for a free business shout-out. So we're in studio here with Luke Charlton, a coaching model consultant who travels everywhere and is in Vegas with us today. So we're so excited to have him with us. And we're just talking about basically having a coach. when you are making that change, when you do need to move to the next level, having somebody there to help you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like a sounding board also. I mean,
Absolutely.
If you can have an idea, you can, because you could tell somebody and they'll be like, yeah, that's stupid, not really listening to you. And I think what a coach would do, you can tell me if I'm right, will actually like hear you out and start asking you questions about it so you can actually articulate your own thoughts and ideas and then help people take steps.
Well, you just mentioned a sounding board, which is one of the powerful things that a coach does is just reflect back exactly what the person has said, and that actually helps the person get clarity on what it is that they said, because they think, oh, is that what I said? Is that really what I meant? And that makes them have their thoughts become much clearer, right? And then from there you can ask very powerful questions as well. But one of the great things of having a coach is just having a sounding board, just someone to listen to. Seriously, it's amazing how powerful it is just having someone to listen to you.
No, great. Do you find that like coaches or clients, a lot of times people look for a coach to get permission to do something? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want to quit my job and I want to start a not-for-profit and I want to help children, okay? Do you think that sometimes that they're looking for that approval, saying, okay, you can do this?
No, I don't think so. I think it comes down to that they're in pain and they're looking for something, some type of change in their life. They want something more. For me personally, I don't think it's some type of validation, but for me it's just that they're in pain and they want something more, whether it's in relationships or starting a not-for-profit or business or whatever.
Right. And you can find coaches to help you in any of these fields as well. Do you specialize in a different sort of coach, or it doesn't matter? It's like any kind of coach because you're more into the branding and helping them with the business part and the certification.
So I can help any coaches or consultants with their positioning in the market and selling and marketing themselves, but who I work with mainly are business coaches as well, some speakers as well. Yeah.
So for those different business coaches and speakers, how, as you travel around the world, do they find you?
The easiest way, I mean, if there are people out there that are struggling with not so much getting clients, but more charging more for what they're worth. So breaking that time for money link or money for time link, however you want to say it, and helping them to really create a lifestyle business. So if there are any coaches out there that are struggling with positioning in the market and helping and kind of being stuck in and amongst the noise, well, I can help you rise above that noise. For anyone out there, just email info@zagcoaching.com and either myself or my assistant will reply. And I'll be more than happy to help any of the listeners out there get clear on what it is that they need to do to help.
And spell out your website.
So ZAG Coaching so it's like zigzag, ZAG coaching.com. So it's info@zagcoaching.com is the email address.
Very nice. I love that you're everywhere. You're international. You travel because you can meet with your clients as well at times. You know,
that's right.
I mean, with this world, we can work with clients anywhere through technology. There's so much now, Google Hangouts that we're learning about, and there's so much other ways. But having the idea that you do travel, does come in handy.
Well, that's what I help coaches do, right? Is to create a lifestyle business, and that's what I live as well. Being able to travel to Vegas or to Australia or to London or Canada or whenever I want. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Right. But when you say lifestyle business and just traveling, there's more to it.
Right.
Can you define so people understand what you mean by a lifestyle business?
Someone that is not run down working from, say, 6 a.m. till 11 o'clock at night. They really know how to leverage their time, structure their business in a way where they can get good ROIT, which is return on invested time. So they could work 2 or 3 days a week and still create a 6-figure income. Because I know there's a lot of coaches out there that don't want to be, multimillionaires. They just want to be comfortable and be able to travel whenever they want, leverage their time and spend time with their family. I think that's the way things are going with the market. Now, a lot of people don't want to be millionaires anymore. They just want that lifestyle.
Right. Which is, it's interesting they say, like, people who work 12 hours a day, like, take it away from that. And so many entrepreneurs, they feel as though as they go into that lifestyle of being an entrepreneur, you have to be working all the time. You have to be that 24/7 person.
That was me too.
Yeah, see? So you did live that and realized
very much
to
lived
switch
it. When you move
that.
to a place with no starting from scratch basically in London, that's what.
And for a little bit, it's going to take time. You know?
I'm not going to lie and say it's not going to be hard work, but I'd rather be working hard at my dreams than hard in a dead-end job, right?
Yeah, and somebody else's dream.
Yeah, at somebody else's dream. That's exactly right.
And help making other people's dreams come true.
Yeah.
I mean, that must feel really good. So a lot of these coaches, then do they come back to you and they're just like, oh my God, I didn't realize I was able to do that.
Yeah, well, one of my Canadian clients, we did when I was moving, I was able to see him in Canada, took him through a one-day intensive, and now about 5 months later, he's now living and working from Costa Rica.
Nice.
It's blown him away. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I love it. That's fun. I mean, just like even having a radio show, we could travel, you know.
Yep.
As long as you create that, know how to utilize it properly. Otherwise, it could be a downfall. You need to have somebody who can structure it for you, who's done it and been there, so that you don't spin your wheels the wrong way and waste resources.
Yeah, that's why this whole packaging your IP is big right now, because people have been through these challenges and they want to help people that have been through the same challenges, right? But it's a matter of positioning yourself as the person that they should trust with that information.
Right, and I agree with that. And even now, one of our guests that we had on the other day, who's a real estate investor, and we were talking about buying houses and how so many people wait, oh, I don't have $100,000, I don't have $1 million to buy a house. And he's like, look, you get with other investors, $2,500, $1,000, come in together, and you can become a real estate investor. So, but he had to learn this, and you know what I mean, and get all this knowledge. And I talked about legally find out how to do it, and now he's able to pass that on to other people. So I think people need to take advantage of other people's expertise and what they've gone through, and go, oh, I don't want to make this mistake. So you can go in that straight line and make things happen instead of zigzagging all around and getting, oh, I didn't do this right, I should go here, I should go there, and just make it happen.
And everyone out there has been through challenges. And to people that are listening, people will pay a lot of money to know what you know, no matter what stage of life that you're in. They will pay a lot of money. For every person that'll pay $20 for what you know, there's a person that'll pay $20,000 for what you know, right? So it's a matter of then knowing how to position yourself as someone that's that go-to trusted advisor.
Right. So when you first started this, did you ever go, how much do I charge? Did you devaluate yourself and then go, oh, let me try a little long, you know what I mean? And then go in your head and be like, oh, am I doing this right? Can I charge more?
Well, when I first started coaching, I was thinking about doing I did. Charging on an hourly rate, right? I was working out what I'm going to charge when I moved to London, $100 an hour. Then when I started investing in myself and my company, I've invested a lot of money over the past 12 months, learning from the best of the best how to position myself, how to charge on value. Now what I teach is how to help coaches and consultants package their advice or what they do, their programs into $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 programs and higher. But I don't usually come out with that because a lot of coaches are fearful of, are they really worth that? Do I, is my advice worth that? I can say yes, but there are a lot of people out there that have these limiting beliefs, right? So, so I like to position around helping them with their lifestyle business because that's essentially what I do as well. And a part of that is helping them create a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 program.
Real quick, which a lot of people need. I mean, I was working with a client recently, and we were talking about what they do and their business and what they provide and all of that. And as we were talking, the words that came out of their mouth were, because I had said, I think are great prices for what you do. You could probably even charge more. And as they were talking about what they did, they were like, you know what? I think we could charge more because they had to build that confidence in themselves. They didn't realize. And as the more the conversation went, it was that, wait, I could charge more for this. I'm providing so much value here. Why are we not charging more?
And it does take, sometimes, you don't have to start off at charging $20,000. If you can start small and start scaling up, right?
Yeah.
So there is that end as well. You don't have to go all out to start off with.
But I think one point that you said, which is really great, even coaches sit there and go, how much can I charge? is it okay to charge this? So it's really good for them to have a coach and going, yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You have that value.
Right.
So,
but not only that, showing them how to as well.
Right.
I show them how to as well.
Well, and also that they're delivering value as well. You got to
Right.
make sure that when you come in and tell them they can charge $5,000 or $10,000, what the value is, and is it added value? Are they giving, everything that they say?
Right. And I teach them how to communicate that value as well and deliver on that value as well.
Right, because that's really important.
Very important.
Very cool. And with that, we do have to take our last break, let our sponsors speak. So you are listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to check out the website, www.createitnowmedia.com, or find us on Facebook and join in on the conversation. We'll be right back.
The best television isn't on television. It's on the internet. Log on to realwisdomtv.com for thousands of hours of motivational and inspiring content. On demand, all the time. Unlike network television with its sex, drugs, and rock and roll, realwisdomtv.com provides wellness, wealth, and wisdom. From how to read faster to creating greater wealth, realwisdomtv.com is for you. The learning never stops, and neither does realwisdomtv.com. Log on now to realwisdomtv.com.
This is Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Those of you that are listening, I encourage you to listen to Create It Now, because it will teach you how to live full and die empty, how to begin to manifest your greatness and make your mark.
Join the conversation with the Create It Now radio team every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on KLAV AM 1230.
Find us now at www.createitnowmedia.com.
You're listening to the Create It Now Radio Network. This is Larry Benet, the Connector. Invest in your network, and the network will invest back into helping you. The more connection currency you create, the faster you get whatever you want in business and life. You're listening to the Create It Now Radio Network.
Welcome back to Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. If you're just tuning in with us, we are having an amazing conversation with Luke Charlton about how to really charge 3 or 4 times more than you're currently charging and positioning yourself as that expert in your industry, especially for coaches. And if you want to listen to any of the conversation that we've had, you can go to www.createitnowmedia.com for archive version, or we rebroadcast tonight at 11 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com. And so in our conversation, we've been talking about really that I like that positioning idea of positioning yourself, knowing how to really brand yourself and put yourself out there. Because a lot of people don't think of that part. They just keep spinning those wheels and not really think where to go or how to do it. And they ask that question, well, how come they get to charge more? How come they're the leader in the industry? And it's something you got to think about.
The other thing, too, is how do you become the leader of the industry? I think anybody could take that position, and we talk about this as a boxer. Like, when you're not training, somebody's training to beat you. Mm-hmm. And if that's what you want to be, the leader, get the best coaches, get the best people behind you, and keep learning and keep pushing and pushing and pushing and taking action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are in that lineup. Everyone should have a coach and continue to help you move and really to be better with yourself. And as you become better, you're also going to become higher on that food chain and work your way to that top of that industry.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right.
And accountability, like we said. Whoa. I don't know how that word came out. Accountability.
That's the biggest
accountability.
One. I was just speaking to this I was being interviewed last week, and a lot of the time, and we were talking about this as well, it's not so much that we need new tactics or strategies with business. It's more about execution. So 90%, you mentioned it at the beginning, Dawn, or before the show. It's about mindset, right? So 90% of business is mindset and execution, focus and execution. And to help with that, coming back to your comment, is accountability. That's a huge thing. So I would recommend, if you don't have a coach, tell someone that you respect, that you really highly respect, that you don't want to let down. Tell them what it is that you want to do, maybe a weekly goal or monthly goal, whatever it might be, to hold you accountable so that if you didn't reach that goal or if you didn't take action, you're going to really feel a lot of shame to not going forward, right? But you got to feel the pain. If these dreams are serious for you, you have to feel that pain.
Okay, so let me to clarify that. When you say feel the pain, just because we have a lot of people listening, and they don't know, physical or mental pain. Like, what is their pain? Because people have different pain thresholds.
Right.
So when you're saying feel that pain, can you break it down?
Yeah, it has to be painful. It has to be more painful not to move forward, than to move forward. Does that make sense? Yeah. So for me, working in that 9-to-5 corporate environment, it was more painful for me to stay in that environment than it was to quit my job and move overseas to London. So that's
waking up and going to that job every day pained you,
and it's different.
And it was depressed you, and
it's different for everyone. As you said, everyone has a different pain threshold. So it has to be more painful for you to stay where you are than it is to move forward. So what is it going to take to get there? Hire a coach. Start off with have someone hold you accountable.
And I know you work with coaches and stuff, but I want to ask you this. Say there's people that are just starting out in business and they can't afford a coach right now. Do you have some basic tips to give people?
Yep. Find someone else that is... If you're wanting to be a coach, why can't you coach another coach and they do the same to you? Or you have... what I used to do is you get 3 coaches. So one coaches this one across here. So you're never actually coaching each other, right? So you can do pro bono work for each other. Free work. If you're providing a service and it's like it's bartering, right?
Like bartering, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. So there's that. If not, just have someone that can be a sounding board to you, not a family member or a friend. Maybe someone in the same situation as you that's starting a business.
Somebody that'll be honest with you.
Exactly right.
Right. No, I actually like that bartering idea. It makes a lot of sense. So I think if people look at it more now going, oh, if I barter, advice with somebody, a barter, it's like we're not just giving free advice and there is something in return. And I think that should help a lot of people take action going, oh, you know what? I'm just not asking people. I'll give them something back if they become my coach. So I think that's actually brilliant. And I think people should take advantage of that.
And the best part about bartering is you don't have to pay any money to Uncle Sam, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's his name, right, Uncle Sam?
Yeah, it is. Here it's Uncle Sam.
Now he's listening. Yeah. He'll be knocking on the door any second going, bartering, we can charge you. Yes, we can charge you now. They'll find a way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, finding that coach to really help you. And until you can go out and find that coach, having that support system. I like the idea of the 3. So you're not coaching each other, you're moving around that triangle, helping each other out. And I think that's a great way to get started into it and once you can have a coach and always have a coach or multiple coaches like you have, Luke, it's
more the merrier.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
And you can have coaches in different areas.
Right. And one thing I want to say is, like when we met Luke, and you're a coach's coach, you were actually at a coaching event being coached.
Yes, exactly.
No, I mean, which is true. So it's like, I don't want people to just think that, oh, Luke, he only he's the coach, the end all beyond. He was just at a 3-day intensive coaching thing where he was being coached by another coach.
Stay at the top, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like,
to.
So I just, I want to clear that up where people aren't thinking, oh, he just thinks he knows better than everybody. He's the coach's coach. No, you just did a 3-day really intense coaching.
Absolutely. So give us one more time, Luke, the information of how people can get a hold of you.
info@zagcoaching.com. That's myself or my assistant will follow up.
Excellent. That's ZAG, like zigzag.
That's exactly right.
zagcoaching.com. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Enjoyed having you in studio here in Las Vegas. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to check out the archive version at www.createitnowmedia.com. And we're live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Dream big, take action, and create it now.
Have an amazing day.